I raised my brother's 3 kids for 8 years after their mom died. Then he got remarried and told them I'm not real family. 8 years of being their mother, then erased in one conversation because his new wife wanted to play mom. My name is Jessica Chen. I'm 38 years old. For 8 years, I was a mother. Not biologically. Not legally. But in every single way that mattered. I quit my job. Moved into my brother's house. Raised his 3 kids after their mom died. Changed diapers. Wiped tears. Made lunches. Did homework. Attended every parent-teacher conference. Every school play. Every birthday party. I was there for first words. First steps. First days of school. First heartbreaks. I gave up my career. My relationships. My entire life to raise children who weren't mine. And after 8 years, my brother got remarried and told those kids I'm not real family. Rebecca is your real mom now. Aunt Jess is just Dad's sister. She's not really part of our family. 8 years. Erased. In one conversation. Because his new wife wanted to play mother to kids I'd actually raised. 6 months later, when things fell apart, he called begging for help. I said no. This is the story of sacrificing everything for someone else's children, then being told you never really mattered. My brother David is 3 years older than me. 41 now. Growing up, we were close. Typical siblings. Fought sometimes. But we had each other's backs. He was the achiever. Straight A's. Full scholarship to UCLA. Came back to Seattle for law school. Met Amanda there. Amanda was wonderful. Smart. Kind. Loved David completely. They got married when David was 27. I was 24. I was a bridesmaid. Gave a tearful speech about how perfect they were together. They had their first baby 2 years later. Lily. I remember visiting in the hospital. Holding this tiny perfect human. Watching my brother become a father. Isn't she beautiful? David said, looking at Lily with absolute wonder. She's perfect. We're thinking of having at least 3. Maybe 4. Amanda wants a big family. Amanda was glowing. Tired but radiant. We want lots of babies. A house full of love and chaos. 2 years later, they had Mason. Then 3 years after that, Emma. 3 kids. Beautiful, healthy, loved. David was a successful attorney. Amanda stayed home with the kids. They had a nice house in Ballard. Seemed like the perfect family. I was happy for them. Genuinely happy. I was building my own life. Working as a project manager at a tech company. Dating. Enjoying my independence. I visited often. Was the fun aunt. Brought presents. Took the kids to the zoo. Babysat occasionally. But my life was separate. My own. Then everything changed. Emma was 6 months old. Lily was 5. Mason was 3. Amanda was driving home from the grocery store. A Tuesday afternoon. Middle of the day. A driver ran a red light. Slammed into Amanda's car at 50 miles per hour. She died instantly. The call came while I was in a meeting. My phone buzzed. David's number. I ignored it. Figured I'd call back later. It buzzed again. And again. I stepped out of the meeting. David? What's? Jessica. His voice was destroyed. Broken. Amanda's dead. Everything stopped. What? There was an accident. A car accident. She's gone. Amanda's gone. I left work immediately. Drove to the hospital. David was in the waiting room. Completely shattered. I'd never seen him like that. This successful, confident attorney reduced to a sobbing, broken shell. "What am I going to do?" he kept saying. "The kids. Oh God, the kids. What am I going to tell the kids?" The next few weeks were a blur. Funeral arrangements. David couldn't function. I made the calls. Picked the casket. Wrote the obituary. Organized everything. Amanda's parents flew in from Ohio. They were devastated. But they were in their 70s. Not able to help long term. The funeral was heartbreaking. Lily kept asking when Mommy was coming home. Mason didn't understand. Emma cried, sensing something was wrong but too young to know what. After the funeral, I went back to David's house to help. The house was chaos. David was catatonic. Couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't look at the kids without breaking down. The kids needed care. Feeding. Changing. Comforting. I took a week off work. Then another week. Then another. My boss was understanding at first. Take the time you need. Family emergency. But weeks turned into months. David wasn't improving. He was drowning. Couldn't work. Could barely function. He'd go to his office and just sit there. Staring. Not working. His partners were concerned. Putting him on leave. Someone had to take care of the kids. Amanda's parents couldn't. They lived across the country. They were too old. Too heartbroken. My parents were retired in Arizona. Dad had health issues. They couldn't move. Couldn't help full-time. It had to be me. 3 months after Amanda died, I made the decision. I quit my job. Gave up my apartment. Moved into David's house full-time. My life ended. Theirs began. I became the primary caregiver for a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 9-month-old baby. I had no experience. No training. I'd never had kids of my own. But I learned. Fast. Baby Emma needed constant care. Bottles every 3 hours. Diaper changes. Sleep training. I was up all night. Every night. 4 months. Mason was in the middle of potty training. Having accidents. Regressing. Confused and scared without his mom. Lily was starting kindergarten. Struggling with grief. Having nightmares. Crying for her mother every single night. "I want Mommy," she'd sob. "Where's Mommy?" "Mommy's in heaven, sweetie. But I'm here. Aunt Jess is here. I want Mommy. Not you." Those words cut deep. But I understood. She was 5. She'd lost her mother. Of course she didn't want me. But I stayed. Held her through the nightmares. Dried her tears. Got her ready for school. The first few months were the hardest of my life. I was exhausted. Overwhelmed. Running on no sleep. No breaks. No help. David was physically present but emotionally gone. He'd sit in his room. Stare at photos of Amanda. Cry. He couldn't help with the kids. Couldn't look at them without breaking down. So I did everything. Morning routines. Getting 3 kids dressed, fed, ready for the day. Drop Lily at kindergarten. Take Mason to daycare. Keep Emma with me. Cook. Clean. Laundry. Endless laundry. Pick up Lily. Pick up Mason. Homework with Lily. Play with Mason. Care for Emma. Dinner. Bath time. Stories. Bedtime. Then the house cleanup. Dishes. Prep for tomorrow. Collapse into bed. Wake up with Emma 2 hours later. Repeat. 7 days a week. No breaks. No help. My friends stopped calling. I never had time. Never had energy. My dating life disappeared. How could I date? I was raising 3 kids. My career was gone. The tech industry moves fast. Every month I was out, I fell further behind. But the kids needed me. So I stayed. Slowly, things got better. Emma started sleeping through the night. Mason finished potty training. Lily adjusted to school. They got used to me. Started trusting me. Lily stopped asking for her mom every night. Started coming to me with problems. With stories from school. With homework questions. Mason started calling me when he was hurt. Running to me for comfort. Emma's first word was Jess. Not Mama. Just Jess. I cried. Happy tears. Sad tears. Complicated tears. I wasn't their mother. But I was becoming the closest thing to it. David eventually returned to work. Part-time at first. Then full-time. He was functioning. Going through the motions. But still broken inside. He didn't help with the kids. Came home. Ate dinner I made. Retreated to his room. I was doing everything. School runs. Packed lunches. Permission slips. Parent-teacher conferences. Doctor appointments. Dentist appointments. Sick days. Birthday parties. Playdates. After-school activities. Lily wanted to do ballet. I signed her up. Drove her to lessons. Watched every recital. Mason wanted to play soccer. I registered him. Bought equipment. Attended every game. Emma grew from a baby to a toddler. First steps. First words. All with me. The teachers at Lily's school assumed I was the mother. Mrs. Chen, Lily did wonderful on her spelling test. Oh, I'm actually. And we need to talk about her reading level. She's advancing quickly. We're thinking of moving her to the advanced group. I didn't correct them. What was the point? I was the one showing up. Making decisions. Being the parent. The other moms at school included me in their groups. Jessica, we're organizing a field trip fundraiser. Can you help? Jessica, play date at my house this Saturday? The girls would love it. I became part of the school community. Part of the kids' lives in every way. Years passed. Lily turned 7. Then 8. Then 9. Mason turned 5. Started kindergarten. I held his hand on his first day. Watched him walk into school. Cried. Emma turned 2. Then 3. Started preschool. I was there for all of it. First lost tooth. First bike ride without training wheels. First spelling bee. School plays. I made costumes. Attended performances. Cheered from the audience. Halloween. I made costumes from scratch. Took them trick-or-treating. Sorted candy. Birthdays. I planned parties. Baked cakes. Organized games. Made them feel special. Christmas. I bought presents. Decorated. Created traditions. Made magic. I read every parenting book. Learned discipline strategies. How to handle tantrums. How to encourage without pressuring. How to listen. I became good at this. Really good. The kids thrived. They were happy, healthy, doing well in school, well adjusted despite their trauma. Because I was there. Every day. Showing up. Loving them. David was present but distant. He went to work. Came home. Ate dinner. Asked basic questions. How was school? Good. That was it. He didn't engage. Didn't help with homework. Didn't attend events unless I specifically asked him to. I was both parents. Mother and father. Everything. My life was their life. I had no hobbies. No social life. No career. No romantic relationships. I was 35 years old. Should have been in my prime. Building a career. Dating. Maybe thinking about my own family. Instead, I was raising someone else's children. But I didn't resent it. I loved those kids. Lily was smart, creative, sensitive. She wrote stories. Drew pictures. Asked deep questions. Mason was energetic, funny, kind. He made friends easily. Loved sports. Had the biggest heart. Emma was curious, brave, affectionate. She'd climb into my lap every evening. Tell me a story, Aunt Jess. They were my world. I told myself it was worth it. That I was doing something meaningful. That these kids needed me. And they did. Then, 8 years after Amanda died, David met Rebecca. She was a colleague at his law firm. Divorced. No kids. 40 years old. David started dating her. Slowly at first. Dinner here and there. Then more seriously. Weekends away. Overnight stays. I was happy for him. Genuinely. He deserved to move on. To find happiness again. She's great, Jess, he said. Really great. I think this could be serious. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. The kids like her. She's good with them. The kids had met her a few times. Casual meetings. Playing at the park. Ice cream trips. They seemed fine with her. Polite. Friendly. After 6 months, David asked Rebecca to move in. I want to propose, he told me. Make it official. Give the kids a complete family again. That's great, David. Really. Rebecca wants to be involved. With the kids. She wants to be a real mother figure to them. Something in his tone made me uneasy. But I pushed it aside. Rebecca moved in. David proposed. She said yes. They planned a small wedding. 3 months later, they were married. The kids were in the wedding. Lily was a junior bridesmaid. Mason was a ring bearer. Emma was a flower girl. I helped them get ready. Made sure they looked perfect. Stood in the back during the ceremony. At the reception, David gave a speech. I never thought I'd find love again after Amanda. But Rebecca showed me I could. She's given me hope. Given the kids a mother. I'm so grateful. A mother. Rebecca hadn't been around for 8 years. Hadn't done the night wakings. The sick days. The homework battles. The endless exhausting work of actually raising kids. But she was the mother now. Because she married their dad. After the wedding, things changed. Rebecca had opinions. About how the kids should be raised. What they should eat. How they should behave. She contradicted routines I'd established. Bedtimes I'd set. Rules I'd enforced. Emma doesn't need a bedtime story every night. That's excessive. Lily should be doing harder homework. She's too coddled. Mason's too wild. He needs more structure. More discipline. I tried to be diplomatic. These routines have worked for years. The kids are doing well. Things are different now. I'm their mother. I know what's best. Their mother. She'd been in their lives for 9 months. I'd been there for 8 years. But she was the mother. David supported her. Always. Rebecca's right, Jess. The kids need to adjust to having a mom again. You've been wonderful. But things are different now. Different. I started being excluded from decisions. Rebecca scheduled doctor appointments without telling me. Changed their school information to list her as the primary contact. Not me. I'd find out about parent-teacher conferences after they happened. Oh, Rebecca and I went yesterday. We didn't think to invite you. Didn't think. After 8 years of me being the only one who showed up. Rebecca started doing school pickups. Not because I couldn't. But because she wanted to establish herself as the mom. The kids were confused. Why is Rebecca picking us up? Where's Aunt Jess? Rebecca is your stepmom now. She should be doing these things. I felt myself being pushed out. Slowly. Gradually. But I told myself it was good. The kids needed a mother. A complete family. This was what was best for them. Even if it broke my heart. Then one evening, 3 months after the wedding, I overheard a conversation. I was in the kitchen. David and Rebecca were in the living room with the kids. Rebecca's voice carried. I know this is an adjustment. But I'm your mom now. Not Aunt Jess. She's just your dad's sister. She's not real family. My blood went cold. Lily's voice, small and confused. But Aunt Jess raised us. She's been our mom. David spoke. His voice firm. Aunt Jess was very kind to help. We're grateful. But Rebecca is your real mother now. Aunt Jess is just my sister. She's not really part of our family. Not like Rebecca is. Not real family. 8 years. And I was not real family. Mason spoke up. But Aunt Jess does everything for us. Rebecca's voice was sharp. Did everything. Past tense. I'm here now. You need to respect me as your mother. That means understanding that Aunt Jess is extended family. She's not your parent. Extended family. I walked into the living room. 3 pairs of eyes looked at me. The kids looked confused. Guilty. David looked uncomfortable. Rebecca looked defiant. Can I talk to you? I said to David. My voice shaking. Sure. We went to his office. I closed the door. What the hell was that? Jess, keep your voice down. You just told those kids I'm not real family. After 8 years. 8 years of raising them. Of being their mother in every way that mattered. You're not their mother. Rebecca is their mother now. Rebecca has been here for less than a year. I've been here for 8. I gave up my entire life. And we're grateful. I'm grateful. But the kids need clarity. They need to understand family structure. Rebecca is my wife. Their stepmother. She's part of the core family unit. Your extended family. Extended family. I quit my job. I gave up my career. My relationships. My entire life. For your kids. I didn't ask you to do that. The words hung in the air. What? I didn't ask you to quit your job. To move in. You offered. I was grateful. But I didn't force you. You were falling apart. Someone had to take care of them. And you did. And I appreciate it. But that doesn't make you their parent. It makes you an aunt who helped during a difficult time. An aunt who helped. 8 years. Reduced to an aunt who helped. So what now? I just disappear? Of course not. You're welcome to visit. Holidays. Birthdays. You're still their aunt. But day-to-day parenting? That's Rebecca's role now. The kids need to bond with her. They can't do that if you're always here. So you want me to leave? I think it would be best. For everyone. Especially the kids. They need space to adjust to their new family dynamic. New family. Without me. When? Soon. Maybe by the end of the month? That gives you time to find a place. Find a place. I'd lived here for 8 years. This was my home. I need to say goodbye to the kids. Of course. But Jess? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Don't confuse them. Don't make them feel guilty. This is what's best for them. What's best? I packed over the next 2 weeks. 8 years of my life in boxes. The kids were confused. Upset. Why are you leaving, Aunt Jess? I'm getting my own place. But I'll still see you. I promise. But why? Don't you love us anymore? My heart shattered. I love you so much. More than anything. This isn't about that. Then why? How could I explain? That their father had decided I wasn't real family? That I'd been replaced? Sometimes adults need to make changes. But I'll always be your Aunt Jess. Always. Lily cried. Mason cried. Emma, now 8 years old, clung to me. Please don't go. Please. Rebecca watched from the doorway. Arms crossed. Impatient. David didn't help. Didn't comfort them. Didn't acknowledge what this was doing to them. I moved out on a Saturday. Into a small apartment in Capitol Hill. From a 4-bedroom house full of life to a 1-bedroom apartment full of silence. I had no job. No career to return to. 8 years out of the industry. My skills were outdated. My network was gone. I had no friends. They'd all moved on without me. I had no relationship. Who wants to date a 38-year-old with no career and no life? I had nothing. Except the memories of raising 3 kids who'd been told I wasn't real family. The first few weeks were the hardest. I'd wake up at 6 out of habit. Ready to start the morning routine. Then remember. No kids to wake. No lunches to pack. No school run. Just silence. I applied for jobs. But 8 years out? No recent experience? No references? I got rejection after rejection. I tried to see the kids. Called David. Can I take them for the weekend? Or even just dinner? Not this week. Rebecca has plans. What about next week? We'll see. I'll let you know. He never let me know. I showed up at Lily's school play. One I'd helped her practice for. One she'd been excited about. I sat in the back. Watched her perform. She was incredible. Afterward, I tried to find her. Congratulate her. Rebecca was there. With David. They were taking photos. Surrounded by the other parents. Lily saw me. Her face lit up. She started to run over. Rebecca grabbed her arm. Said something I couldn't hear. Lily's face fell. She waved at me. Small. Sad. I waved back. And left. I wasn't welcome anymore. 6 months passed. 6 months of silence. Of trying to rebuild a life from nothing. I got a job. Administrative assistant. Entry level. A fraction of what I used to make. But it was something. I started therapy. To process the grief. The loss. The anger. You essentially went through a divorce, Dr. Martinez said. You co-parented these kids for 8 years. Built your entire life around them. Then were cut off. That's traumatic. It was. Incredibly traumatic. I was working on accepting it. Moving forward. Then David called. It was a Thursday evening. His number on my screen. I almost didn't answer. But I did. Jess. Hi. How are you? I'm fine. What do you need? I wanted to talk to you. About the kids. My heart raced. Are they okay? They're fine. Physically. But emotionally? They're struggling. Struggling how? Lily's grades are dropping. She's withdrawn. Not talking to anyone. Mason's acting out at school. Fighting. Getting in trouble. Emma's having nightmares again. Waking up crying every night. All three. All struggling. I'm sorry to hear that. Have you tried therapy? Rebecca took them. But it's not helping. The therapist says they're grieving. Grieving what? You. The word hung there. They miss you. They ask about you constantly. When can they see Aunt Jess? Why doesn't Aunt Jess come over anymore? Is Aunt Jess mad at them? I'm not mad at them. I know. But they don't understand. Rebecca's trying. She really is. But they don't connect with her. They want you. What do you want me to do, David? Could you come over? Spend time with them? Help Rebecca understand their routines? What works with them? Help Rebecca. The woman who'd replaced me. Who'd told the kids I wasn't real family. You told them I'm not real family. I know. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I was trying to establish boundaries. But I see now it hurt them. It hurt you. Do you? Do you really see that? Yes. Jess, I messed up. Rebecca messed up. We thought we were doing what was best. But the kids need you. They're falling apart without you. And whose fault is that? Mine. I know. I'm asking for your help. You kicked me out. Told me I was just an aunt who helped. Extended family. Not part of the core unit. I was wrong. You told me to leave. That it was best for everyone. I was wrong about that too. 6 months of silence. 6 months of grief. 6 months of rebuilding. And now he wanted me back. Because things were hard. What exactly do you want? Could you move back in? Just temporarily. Until things stabilize. The kids need consistency. They need you. Move back in. Back to the house I'd lived in for 8 years. Back to raising his kids. No. Jess, please. I gave you 8 years. I sacrificed everything. And you threw me away when it was convenient. When Rebecca wanted to play house. We didn't throw you away. You told 3 children who I'd raised that I wasn't real family. You erased 8 years. You made me leave. And now, 6 months later, when parenting is hard, you want me back? To fix the problems you created? The kids need you. The kids needed me 6 months ago. When you kicked me out. Where was this concern then? I'm asking for help. For the kids. Not for me. You're asking me to step in and parent. Again. To sacrifice. Again. While having no actual authority. No real place in their lives. Just the work. That's what you're asking. I'll give you authority. You can make decisions. About their care. Their schedules. Until when? Until Rebecca decides she wants to be mom again? Until it's convenient to push me out? Again? That won't happen. You said being there every day was best for the kids. Until it wasn't. You said I was essential. Until I wasn't. Why should I believe anything you say now? Silence. I can't do this, David. I can't put myself through that again. So you'll just abandon them? When they need you? The audacity. I didn't abandon them. You removed me. You told me to leave. You told them I wasn't family. I didn't make that choice. You did. Jess, please. I'm begging. The kids are suffering. Then be their father. Step up. Actually parent them. Figure it out. Like I had to. When you were falling apart. I didn't have anyone to call. I just did it. Now it's your turn. I don't know how. Neither did I. I learned. You can too. Please. Just think about it. I have thought about it. For 6 months. Every day. And my answer is no. I hung up. He called back. Texted. Left voicemails. Jess, we need to talk about this. The kids are asking for you. Please. Can we at least set up a visit? Dinner? I didn't respond. Rebecca called. From David's phone. Jessica, I know I haven't been fair to you. I'm sorry. I was trying to establish my role. But I see now I hurt you. And the kids. Can we start over? Start over. After she'd told 3 grieving children that the woman who raised them wasn't real family. No. Please. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had kids. I don't know their routines. What they like. How to help them. You know all of that. You wanted to be their mother. Be their mother. Figure it out. I can't do this alone. I did. For 8 years. You can manage. I blocked their numbers. A week later, Amanda's parents called. I hadn't spoken to them in months. Jessica, David called us. He's worried about the kids. He says you won't help. That's not exactly accurate. He says they're struggling. Missing you. I'm sure they are. I raised them for 8 years. Then I was removed from their lives. Of course they're struggling. Can't you help? For the kids' sake? I love those kids. I would do anything for them. But going back means being used again. Being pushed out again when it's convenient. I can't do that to myself. They need you. They needed me 6 months ago. David decided otherwise. They didn't push further. I've held my ground for 6 months now. A full year since I moved out. I don't know how the kids are doing. If they're better. If they're worse. I think about them every day. Miss them. Wonder if Lily's still writing stories. If Mason made the soccer team. How Emma's doing in school. But I can't go back. Because going back means accepting that I'm disposable. That I can be used when convenient and discarded when not. That 8 years of sacrifice means nothing. That I'm not real family. I'm rebuilding my life now. My therapist says I made the right choice. That I'm protecting myself. Setting healthy boundaries. You can love people and still choose not to put yourself in situations where you'll be hurt. I do love them. Those kids. So much. But love isn't enough. I've started dating. Finally. A man I met through work. Kind. Stable. Interested in who I am now. Not what I can give. I'm thinking about going back to school. Updating my skills. Rebuilding my career. I'm creating a life that's mine. Not built around other people's needs. It's scary. And sad. And lonely sometimes. But it's mine. I don't know if David and Rebecca figured it out. If the kids are thriving. If they've adjusted. Part of me hopes they have. That the kids are happy and healthy. Part of me hopes it's still hard. That they realize what they lost when they pushed me out. Both things can be true. I was a mother for 8 years. Not legally. Not biologically. But in every way that mattered. I showed up. Every day. For 8 years. And when I was no longer convenient, I was told I wasn't real family. That's not something you come back from. Have you ever sacrificed everything for someone else's children? Have you ever been told you're not real family after years of being exactly that? Have you ever been asked to come back and fix problems you didn't create? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes loving people means protecting yourself from being used by them. If you believe that you can't raise someone's kids for 8 years, then tell them they're not real family when it suits you. Hit that like button and subscribe. Because being a parent isn't about biology. It's about showing up. And the person who showed up for 8 years deserves more than being called extended family. #NotRealFamily